So here we can say that the force which is being transferred to the ground is 498 Newton. Okay, that is if K is 1.96 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter. So if I reduce the stiffness to 9.8 into 10 power 4 Newton per meter, what will be the force which is being transferred to the ground? So please calculate and tell me the answer. So here in this equation, only omega n values will change. Okay, here only the omega n value will change because there is a change in stiffness. So x is equal to x st that divided by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. Here zeta is 0, so this term will become 0, and x st is s naught by k, that is equal to 490 divided by 9.8 into 10 power 4, that is equal to 490 divided by, so it is 0.005 meter, and omega n is equal to root of k by m, that is equal to root of 9.8 into 10 power 4, that divided by 1000, that is
9.8, 9.9.
9 radians per second. Therefore, x is equal to 0.005 divided by root of 1 minus omega n is 18.84 that divided by 9.9 whole square.
So we'll get minus 1.9 into 10 power minus 3.
Minus 1.9
into 10 power minus 3.
See, x is a displacement and the force is sinusoidal in nature, so you can neglect this sign. So it is 1.9 into 10 power minus 3 meter or 1.9 mm. 1.9 mm the displacement of this mass. This mass can have a displacement of 1.9 mm. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now find out the force transmitted. FTR is equal to root of 1 plus, sorry, FTR by F naught is equal to root of 1 plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square divided by root of 1 plus, sorry, 1 minus
Omega
by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. See, in all the equations, the denominator is same. Only the numerator will change. Okay. Or FTR is equal to F naught multiplied by this. And since here zeta is 0, this is 0 and this is 0. So FTR is equal to S naught that divided by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square whole square. S naught is 490 that divided by root of 1 minus 18.84 that divided by 9.9 whole square whole square.
Minus 186.9.
See how you are getting minus? Because of the root.
Yes, sir.
Okay, minus 180.
6.9.
It is 187 Newton. Okay. So now, what is the comparison between the case 1 and case 2? Case 1 and case 2. The mass is same, 1000 kg, and here also 1000 kg. And operating frequency is same, that is 18.84 radians per second and 18.84 radians per second. Okay.
Yes, sir. Omega n.
So the static deformation is different. That is 2.5 into 10 power minus 4, or it is 0.0025 meter, and here it is 0.005 meter. So the deflection is in the first case it was 0.3. How much?
3.05 into 10 power minus 4.
3.05 into 10 power minus 4 is nothing but
0.00.
0.305. .305 mm.
Yes, sir.
It was 3.05 into 10 power minus 4 meter. So for the millimeter, it is 3.05 into 10 power minus 4 into 10 power minus 3 mm. Okay, or 3.05 into 10 power minus 1 mm, or it is 0.305 mm. So 0.305 mm was the amplitude of maximum amplitude of vibration, and here it is 1.9. Okay, for the second case it is 1.9 mm. And what is the force transmitted? Here it was
598.
598 Newton, and here it was 187 Newton. Okay. So the only change between the first case and second case was the stiffness. In the first case it was K that is equal to 1.96 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter, and here in second case it was
9.8 into 10 power 4.
4 Newton per meter. So only because of changing the stiffness, the amount of force which is being transferred to the ground has been changed. But we need to reduce the amount of force which is being transferred to the ground. We need to reduce it. Okay. So by looking into the results, we can say higher the stiffness, higher the force which is being transferred to the ground. Higher the stiffness of the spring, higher the value of force which is transferred to the ground. Right?
Yes, sir.
But if you further reduce the stiffness, can you further reduce the force which is being transferred?
Yes, sir, it will reduce, sir.
It will reduce, but after some point of time, it will again increase. Okay, because of cyclic in nature. Because it is cyclic. Okay. Any doubt?
No, sir.
So we have various problems regarding this. That is vibration isolation. That is what is the amount of force being transferred to the ground, and what is the displacement of the mass. See, only so far whatever the equations we have studied, we need to use those equations to solve the problems on force vibration. Okay. Any doubt?
No, sir, no doubt.
See, we have one more question. So that providing damping in vibration isolation is not useful when the frequency ratio is more than 1.414 or √2. Can you show this?
Sir, you should take omega by omega n equals 1.414, sir.
If you take omega by omega n is 1.414 and zeta is 1. Okay, if you take omega by omega n as 1.4 or √2 and zeta is 1, you should get the transmissibility ratio PR, that is equal to SPR by S0. You should get it as 1. Right? So what is the transmissibility ratio mean? It is the ratio of force which is being transmitted to the ground to the applied force. If this is equal to 1, then there is no need to provide the isolator in between the mass, vibrating mass and the ground, right?
Yes, sir. FTR will
Use
be
of
equal
isolator
to
is so in this case, the use of isolator is to reduce the amount of force which is being transferred to the ground. Okay. If I want to prove that vibration isolator is not useful when the value of value of omega by omega n is more than √2, then I should get the answer which is equal to 1. So take transmissibility ratio, that is FDR by S0 is equal to 1 and zeta is equal to 1. Okay. Now you find the value of omega by omega n. So this transmissibility ratio is equal to √1 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square, that divided by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. Okay, now here you take this transmissibility ratio as 1. So if transmissibility ratio is 1, then we can say the provided isolator is not useful. Okay, and the zeta is 1. So let me know the value of omega by omega n. Yeah, I'll tell you why do we need to take zeta as 1? Why can't we take any other value? Okay, I'll clarify. But now, if you take these two, what will be the value of omega by omega n? One is equal to root of 1 plus 2 zeta omega by n, that is 2 omega by omega n whole square, that divided by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 omega by omega n whole square. Okay, so I can split this root like this and put the root here and root here, and I can send it to left hand side. So that is 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 omega by omega n whole square, which is under the root, that is equal to 1 plus 2 omega by omega n whole square and root. So squaring on both sides will eliminate the root. So I'll get 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 omega by omega n whole square, that is equal to 1 plus 2 omega by omega n whole square. Okay. So here I can cancel this. So this is a minus b whole square plus b square. B square is to the power of 4 minus 2ab, that is minus 2 omega by omega n whole square, or this 1 will get cancelled. So omega by omega minus 2 omega is equal to 0. Or here I can take out this omega by omega n whole square as common. So omega by common. So inside I'll it is omega by omega n whole square minus 2, that is equal to 0. So if I send this to here, it will become 0. So omega by omega n whole square minus 2 is equal to 0, or omega by omega n whole square is equal to omega by omega n is equal to root 2. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
You can say if the if the frequency ratio is equal to √2, then there will be a 100% transmission of force to the ground. Okay. This transmissibility ratio is 1, means whatever the force it reaches, it transfers to the ground. So if omega by omega n is equal to √2, then the vibration isolator will not be useful. Any doubt? Is mounted on a spring with a stiffness K is 11,000 Newton per centimeter with an assumed damping factor of 0.2. Okay. A piston within the machine, see, there is a machine here, you can say this as a machine of 68 kg, and there is a piston within the machine of 2 kg, which is reciprocating. Okay, with a stroke of 7.5 centimeter, with a stroke of 7.5 centimeter. Okay, and the stroke we can call it as E, that is equal to 7.5 centimeters by 2. Okay, we can tell you why it is by 2, and with a speed of 1000 Newton. Okay, assume the motion of the piston as SHM. Assume the motion of the piston as SHM. You need to find out the amplitude of the machine, that is X. You need to find out the force angle with respect to exciting force. Phase angle with respect to exciting force, that is phi. Transmissibility and force transmitted, that is transmissibility means that is transmissibility ratio, that is epsilon, and force transmitted, that is FTR, and phase angle of the transmitted force with respect to exciting force. Okay, here it is important. The angle between of the phase angle of the transmitted force, that is FTR, and the applied force F0. That is, you need to find
Phi minus alpha.
Phi minus alpha. Can you find all these things with the knowledge, whatever you have gained from the previous classes?
Yes, sir.
You find this? Okay, you will get a similar kind of questions in force bidirection chapter. Okay, I'll end the class here. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Sir, why eccentricity
Doubt?
7.5 by 2, sir?
I'll tell you why it is. Okay. We have to plot some of the graphs, and then we can solve the exact problem. Okay. I have just given you a sample problem, and what are the things you may be asked to find out. Okay, I'll tell you why it is divided by 2 and all.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubt?
No, sir.
It is because the stroke is 7.5. Okay, the stroke is 7.5 means it has to go. If the crank is at vertical position, it has to reach the piston has to reach the maximum position. Okay, when the crank rotates 180 degree, and when it reaches the bottommost position, the piston has to reach the bottommost, right? So this total height should be 7.5. So half is
For 360, it will be 2 times 7.
no. See, the stroke of the piston is 7.5 centimeter, right? The
Yes,
stroke of
sir.
the piston. Okay. When the piston is at the top dead center, then the connecting rod will be like this, and the crank will be like this. Okay, this is the origin. When the piston is at the bottom dead center, the connecting rod will be like this, and the crank will be like this. So it will be half of the eccentricity will be half of the displacement of the piston.
Okay, sir. Understood.
You just assume the two positions of the piston. One is at the top dead center, and one more at the bottom dead center. And think about the positions of the connecting rod and the crank.
Yes, sir. When top dead
And
center.
the total travel is 7.5.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why we will divide it by 2.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So like this, you'll be given with some of the data, and you are asked to find out the transmissibility ratio or force being transmitted. And in case of base excitation, what will be the excitation of the base, and what will be the excitation of the mass, and what will be the relative displacement. All those things can be asked in this chapter. Okay, and don't worry about the equation. In the test or in the examination, we will give you the equation, but you need to choose the correct equation out of it. Okay, we will give the list of equations which will be used to solve the problem. So you need to choose from it. Okay. Okay, I'll end the class here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.